Charles Haley. You're listening to Nothing But Niners.
This is Kyle Juszczyk, and you're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, hits to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30. Needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline. Breaks the third tackle. Comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle. Swings down the sideline. Throws off bodies like clothes after a marathon.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking down in post, and it's good. Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers!
But it's second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell, intercepted! The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption! Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown!
The San Francisco 49ers, we can do whatever we want.
Click, click, boo! I know. What is going on, faithfuls? It's your boys Mike and Tony, and we are here to bring you guys another episode. I wish I can call this one fun-filled, but I don't think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, listen, I know that there are a lot of you guys out there that have something to say. What I'm going to do today is different. I'm going to open up the show. I'm going to start with Tony, all right? I'm going to hear from Kyle Shanahan, and then I'm going to give you, the faithful, the floor. We do overreaction shows where people come in and they celebrate. But now that the 49ers 2025-2026 season has officially concluded, I'm going to let you guys come on and reflect. I'm going to give everybody who wants to 90 seconds. All right. You guys are going to get a chance to come in and complain about this current game, maybe complain about the season. Some people are going to say they want to see certain people fired. They want to see certain people extended. Whatever it is that you guys want to say, I am going to leave that all to you guys, all right? So we're going to start with Tony, and Tony's going to jump off. We're going to go with Kyle, and then we're going to go to you guys. I want to hear from the faithful, all right? And if the faithful decide that they don't want to come in, I understand. I completely get it. It's going to be a lot of heavy hearts out there, right? A lot of people are going to be in their feelings. Maybe you guys don't even want to come on and say anything, all right? But I have some reflections that I'm going to share at the end of the show. And I'm going to open it up now for Tony, and then we'll have Kyle Shanahan queued up after that. So, Tony, man, I'm going to take you off of mute now, and the floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't end the way we wanted it to for Seattle. I mean, it is what it is. The Niners, I guess people could say, limped into the playoffs or got lucky, if you will, whatever. I don't think they got lucky. I just think they went in pretty banged up and in a tough situation. I think it was a successful season. If I told you your starting quarterback, tight end, Hall of Fame middle linebacker, best pass rusher, and so on, other key figures that were injured, missed 10 out of the
Your number one wide receiver didn't play all year.
Your number one wide receiver bailed on you.
Yeah.
Missed majority of the season, and we're still in the playoffs in the divisional round. I think that's a lot to be proud of and happy with. I do think there is some tough decisions that will be made this offseason. And I'm going to start off with putting the bullseye on John Lynch. I don't think Kyle Shanahan's going anywhere. I do think if Kyle Shanahan was fired, he'd be hired within an hour. I do think that John Lynch needs to be held accountable of some sort. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if you look at the success of a John Schneider, and kudos to him, John Schneider built a championship team, broke down a championship team, and potentially can build another championship, potentially built another championship team. Majority through the draft and supplemental free agency. So with that being said, Schneider's hitting on first and second and third round picks. You can't say John Lynch has been. You take it back to his first draft, like Mike and I were talking about on the Patreon. You draft a player in the first round that you sat in a college classroom with at Stanford. I don't see that. Like, I can't see that, right? And then you look at a guy that they move up in the draft, right? Clearly, it's his first time doing it. You take a Reuben Foster, who, if you watch the film, shit, guy's a phenomenal middle linebacker and, could be an impact player for this defense, and we could build a nucleus around that player. But then you don't look at the off-field shit. So they had to feel their oats with their process in drafting people, what they look for, how they break down their board. Do they throw people out with red flags for behavioral stuff? And they finally caught up and they did it. A very sad moment in the 49ers history is you trade multiple first-round picks, and I'll never forget this. You trade multiple first-round picks to move up to a spot, but then you come out and say you don't know who you're taking. Or now we're going to start doing our research and our due diligence on the quarterback. How do you do that, right? And I'm going to tell you what can happen is what has happened. I think the whole time the quarterback that they wanted is on the roster. But I didn't think they had the balls to take that quarterback at 3, trading up to 3, giving up what they did. But in the meantime, they could have took them at where they sat prior to the trade. So right then and there, I think John Lynch, and I guess you could say Kyle Shanahan, are extremely lucky that they found Brock Purdy the following year in that draft. Because if they didn't find Brock Purdy, I don't think the two of them would be here right now. And it's tough to say. And I understand I'm seeing the people in the chat saying, get Kyle out of here, get Kyle out of here, get Kyle out of here. I understand the frustration. But Kyle is a good coach when he has his players, when they're healthy. I mentioned John Lynch. I skipped over one individual, but now we're talking about Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDonald's defense is Kyle Shanahan's kryptonite. It happened versus Baltimore. It's happening ever since he came to Seattle. He's had trouble with this defense. The problem is this: the defense doesn't follow the motion. Kyle uses the motion to open windows and give looks. So what happens? He sits. He plays reactionary once the ball snaps. That hurts Kyle's defense. That hurts Kyle's offense. It makes it harder. So, with that being said, does Kyle have to look in the mirror and say, "Oh, I got to start changing shit on my end"? Sure. I mean, I don't know how you're going to tell me you're going to fire a guy whose team was decimated with an injury and made it to the divisional round. They got their ass kicked, yes, but they made it to the divisional round, and they flew cross country and beat a Philly team in a hostile environment. And there's a lot to it, right? And I like Kyle. My next topic I'm going to talk about, and I'm just trying to jump because I'm kind of tired. I got to take my medicine and try to lay down because I'm in a little pain. But Jed York, everyone's ripping Jed York. Why are we ripping Jed York? Jed York has spent nothing but millions of dollars on. Can I curse?
Go for it, man. I don't care about the time.
On fucked up contracts that Kyle and John have given out. Okay? Everyone's blaming Jed for being cheap, not doing free agency, not doing this, not being aggressive at the trade deadline. What Jed did was jumpstart the process to start the new phase of the 49ers, the rebuild or the retool, right? They ate almost $100 million in dead cap this year. They have cap space now next year because of what they did. So with that being said, I can't blame Jed for that. Jed allowed him to fuck up. He bailed them out, and he's probably going to give them money again next year to spend. Good.
Can I ask you a question real quick? I don't blame Jed York. You know that. I've been one of the biggest Jed York supporters for a while now. However, Jed York has also allowed this team, this front office, right? He has allowed them to do something that no other owner would have done, and that was something that you mentioned earlier, that trading up to 3 for a bust. And while finding Brock Purdy the following year may have saved them their jobs, both guys did not deserve to keep their jobs. And that I do blame on Jed York. You can keep Kyle and all the rest of the coaching staff, but that should have told you that John Lynch ain't the guy. I don't know that any other head coach and GM would have kept their jobs if that happened on any of the other 31 teams. That's all. That's the only thing I will say negative that I have about Jed York in recent history. That's the only thing. I think he was meddling a little too much since the firing of Mike Nolan. And then he got into his feelings and fired Harbaugh, right? Blame that stuff on Jed. But the process that he took, finding Kyle and then letting Kyle pick his GM and then washing his hands and say, hey, this is your guy's show now, and I'm hands off. I think he learned from his mistakes from the Harbaugh years, and I think he's been doing a good job. But if there is something that Jed York could have done, he could have put a fire under their asses when it comes to their draft decisions. They have made some really, really bad draft decisions, and they have not had to pay for it. They are the safest head coach and GM tandem I've ever seen in my life, and there's a lot of whiffs in draft and free agency and so on and so forth. So that's the only kind of knock I would say.
I mean,
he's got to show them.
I'm not willing to say that there's a lot. I think the major thing is the year one draft and the trade for Trey. The Niners have been very successful in the draft in the later round, picking up people like George Kittle, like freaking McKivitz. Like they added pieces that are contributors to this team. DJ Jones, Dre Greenlaw, who aren't here because they priced themselves out of being here. Fred Warner, Diamador Lenore. They're okay. They're not names that are like, whoa, but they are core pieces of this franchise right now, whether you like it or not. So they're successful. They're starters. They're production. I do think John Lynch will face the heat this year. I really do. I really think that something's going to happen, or he's going to be sat down and talked to, and there can be a power transfer. He could be put to the head of the football operations with a GM coming in, or promoting one of those young guys into a GM role. I just think when you look at the work of John Snyder, how John Snyder rebuilt 2 potential championship teams with the draft, you have to say there's a problem here. You have to. I personally don't think it's the scouts. I don't think it's his personnel people that he looks into. I think it's him because he's missing on the crucial picks, the early picks, the day ones, the early day twos. Late day 2 and day 3, it's your scouts, bro. John Lynch ain't meeting with all these fucking people. It's your scouts. They're doing the legwork. They're setting the board. They have their meetings. And John Lynch asked them, okay, tell me about him. And then, okay, show me his film. So these guys are doing the due diligence and the dirty work, and they're presenting it to John and Kyle, and they make their decisions from that. But that's Lynch. I spoke about York real quick, and looking into 2026, 2027 season, I'm sorry to say it, but there's going to be more turnover on this roster. I think next year it could be another, not tight season, but I think they're going to be a competitive team. I don't think there's going to be Super Bowl expectations on this team next year. I think that they're going to have to make crucial decisions with veterans because now I think this roster and what they're trying to accomplish, obviously the goal is to win a Super Bowl, but now when you have age working against you with big salaries, but now you're supplementing youth into the roster, you're going to have to make decisions on people like Jake Brendel needs to go. I'm sorry. People like Jordan Elliott. Jordan Elliott played horrible in the latter part of the year. I don't know what happened to him. He was having a solid season in the beginning, but he completely shit the bed. You drafted 2 young guys. Play the youth. Like, why don't this team, they go out and draft people, but they don't play them? Why? It's mind-boggling, like how you go out and do this work and you take your 10, 12, 8 picks and then you just don't play them. Why? I think those 2 defensive tackles they drafted last year should have been starting halfway through the season. I just don't understand their thought process. They say they love the draft, they want to build to the draft, but they don't play the draft. So, again, I always turn back to Schneider because John Schneider fucking kills it. He's phenomenal. I love what he does, and I love how he works the draft board. He's very good at it. You have to give him credit. Aging veterans, there might be decisions made on them. Trent Williams might not be here. We don't know if it's on him, if it's on the team. They gotta, you look at this game, right? And what did we walk away from it? Number one, they couldn't stop the run. They couldn't set an edge either side, and they couldn't stop the run on the edges. That's number one. Number two, your offensive line was physically manhandled, okay? You have 1 first-round pick. You have 2 glaring needs. Well, multiple glaring needs. You have tons of holes on this roster. What side are you going to go? Are you going to go back to another defensive lineman this year? Or do you finally invest in a high pick with the offensive line? So these are all things that are going to be talked about. They need to bring in a wide receiver. Juwan Jennings is a hell of a player. Juwan Jennings is not a $25 million a year number 1 wide receiver. By all means. Would I like to have him back? Absolutely. I think he's great. I think he's a situational player. Okay? You talk about somebody with Kittle now, coming off of a torn Achilles tendon. Last week it happened. Last week. This kid's next year is in jeopardy, and he's going to be 33. So, how much longer is CMC going to last? These are all things that we just need to put together and just understand. Like, is it worth it to keep going forward at this rate with this personnel grouping, or do we sit back and say, all right, let's do another reset? We have cap space this year. The reset will be more money the following year. We'll pay the dead cap money this year and split it over the next year, and we got to rebuild this team. You can't overpay your free agency. The Hargrave signing from Philly showed us that. They're in a tough spot right now. This team's in a tough spot, right? And it's just concerning because all they keep saying is draft, but they don't use it. And that's a major concern. As far as the defense in total, I think the number 1 downfall in this game tonight was they couldn't stop nobody. I think if Sam Darnold dropped back and ran it up the middle, he'd pick up 10 yards. They just couldn't. They weren't well prepared. Short week. It's a short week. Yes, again, thanks to the NFL, but it is what it is. I just feel that you have big problems that you have to address. And I don't know if it's going to be a quick fix. I don't know if it's going to be something that's going to be spread out over multiple seasons. But, I'm proud of the team. They played their asses off in the predicament that they were with all their injuries. They showed a commitment to shed the dead weight, pay the dead weight, and still put not a contending team, but a competitive team out there that made it to the NFC Divisional round. That's something to be positive about. And the number one factor of this whole situation, they need to address the injuries, whether it's the player performance staff, whether it's the sports science staff, whether it's the strength and conditioning staff, whether it's the medical staff, or whether it's the fucking medical, the power plant. If there's an issue with the fucking power plant, fix the goddamn issue. If there's an issue,
I just want to cut you off there. That power plant nonsense. That's not it. We've been practicing.
I'm just saying because everyone
I know.
Mother's posting it.
But I want the faithful to be more well informed. We got over 250 people watching it right now, guys. It's not the power plant. I know a lot of people say it tongue in cheek, just having fun. We've been practicing there for decades, long before Kyle Shanahan got here, long before Jim Harbaugh was here. That's been our practice field.
I know.
It's not that.
I was just saying to say it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's an issue. What I'm saying is whatever the issue is, whether it's the plant, whether it's this and that, they need to get a grip on these injuries because they are out of control. Every game this team played this year, they lost a player. Whether he was significant, whether he was a great role player, whether it was just Joe Schmo. They lose a player every game. You can't compete in the NFL with a salary cap with people dropping like flies. You can't. So something needs to be done. They need to address these issues. And believe me, there are a ton of issues with this team right now that need to be addressed. I think they need to get on the plane, get out of that locker room, get their shit ready, fly back to Santa Clara. Monday, you start your exit meetings, and you put your nose in the damn books and get to work. And you got to come to an agreement, whether it's John Lynch gets promoted, demoted, or let go, and a new person comes in and takes control of the front office, or I'm not saying I'm for this, if they decide to have this crazy moment and fire Kyle Shanahan, which I don't see them doing, and they need to make a decision on the defense. This scheme, now I'm going to be very clear in what I'm about to say. This scheme that we have seen this season is not the answer. Now, could it be because of talent, due to injuries, due to not having the proper people to play this game? I can't answer that. But based off of what you see on that film, watching it over and over, it's not the answer. It's not the answer. They don't have the personnel group in to play that. I think the wide nine is a nightmare to defend the run because you have gaps all over the place. I just feel, I know Kyle loves the scheme for whatever reason it is, and I got a feeling if Saleh goes, I think he's just going to say, all right, Gus, take over the defense, which could happen. I think they need a change. I think they need a new philosophy on defense. I want to see them more aggressive. This thing of sitting beyond the sticks on a 3rd and 7 and they're playing 10 yards off, I don't get it. That's a guaranteed first down without a pass rush. I mean, am I wrong? Do you disagree with that?
Oh, I don't disagree with it. And even if you do have a pass rush, why are you even allowing the receivers and the pass catchers that opportunity? Forget the pass rush for a second. Why is that your plan? Oh, on 3rd and long, we're just going to get a sack. That's not how it should be. You stop it from happening in the first place, or at least make them earn it. Don't just give up the yards. They give it up every single time. And then that's you said that, it's 3rd and 7, they're 10 yards. They're backpedaling at the snap. They're backpedaling at the snap. Whether you have a pass rush or not, it's a terrible idea. It's an antiquated scheme, and it's over for it. And Robert Saleh tonight, all year, fuck tonight, looked like Robert Saleh in 2017 and 2018. That's what he looked like. And we all wanted Robert Saleh gone in those years. It wasn't until the acquisition of Nick Bosa and Dee Ford that we were like, all right, cool. like Robert Saleh's doing something. And only when those two were on the field. That's it. That's the only time we felt Robert Saleh was doing anything worth his weight. You shouldn't have to be dependent on two spectacular Hall of Fame type players in order to be successful with your defensive scheme. The scheme does not work. It doesn't work, and it's time for it to go. I agree with you.
So clearly we need changes. Again, you had you had several carries where Walker was averaging 10 yards a pop. On 2 of his touchdowns, he literally trotted into the end zone untouched.
Untouched, yeah.
You're not going to win playoff football. In order to be successful in the playoffs, you have to do 2 things. You have to run the ball, and you have to stop the run. If you can't do either, you're not going to win. And your classic tell-all team is the San Francisco 49ers because they couldn't run the ball, and they sure as shit couldn't stop it. So, it is what it is. The game's over. We lost. Fine. Put the season behind us. We got to move forward. Got to keep our heads up as the fan base. I'm thankful for the season that they have. They beat Philly on the road in a hostile environment. Great. But things need to be done. They got to start prepping for the draft, free agency, getting this roster, making financial decisions with players on this roster, with contracts that are having outs come up that they can maneuver money and get them off the roster. They need to finally get Brandon Ayuk off the roster, traded, cut, whatever they want to do it. Get it out. Move on. This offseason is going to be about putting the mistakes behind and moving forward. I'm so tired I can't even talk. Rejuvenating, reorganizing this roster, adding youth to it. And listen, I would love to see a Seattle type scheme for this team. I want to see. I'm over the wide 9. I think Mike could agree with that. I think everybody from Nothing But Niners and other podcasters and content creators will agree. I would love to see, and you're seeing teams go to a more hybrid 3-4-4-3 team, where you have stand-up edge guys where they can put their hands in the ground and play 4 down, or stand up with 3 down linemen and rush 2, send 4, send 5. I mean, Robert Saleh's blitz packages, okay? It's an A-B fire, show A, blitz B, or it's the slot coming off the edge. It's either a nickel corner or a safety coming off the edge. Guys, it's so predictable. Like, it doesn't work. Like, that Mustafa play was because literally he was untouched and he was in a full-out sprint, and that's the only reason why he got the Sam Darnold. And, I'm just rambling here, but I'm actually excited for this offseason. I am looking forward to hopefully the changes. If Saleh goes, will he take Gus Bradley? Will he take Chris Kocurek? I don't know. But I just wish, like, I don't know. I just want to see.
He didn't take Kocurek when he had an opportunity to, and that tells me all I need to know about Kocurek.
I just wish they would become more of a well-coached, aggressive defense. Like, strike the fear in like opposing offenses. Like Kyle Shanahan is with Mike McDonald. I think that defense, we're playing with a big nickel with that kid Imanori, whatever his friggin' name is, from South Carolina. I think that is a phenomenal way to play a big nickel defense because you're at the best of both worlds. So with that being said, I think the special teams, I would like to keep the special teams intact. I think we finally have a kicker. We're going to have to sign him. That's on the to-do list. I see a couple people saying Purdy's trash. I'm not that person. I'm not going to say Purdy's trash. It's not because I'm a Niner fan. I was big on Purdy when the draft process started. I was watching him at Iowa State. I saw clips of him like in big games versus Jalen Hurts battling it out when it was Iowa State versus that was Oklahoma. When Jalen Hurts was at Oklahoma, yeah. When them two were going at it, you see the type of competitor and what he has in him and how he's wired. I just think like every quarterback wants. I just think he wants to be protected up front. I think he wants to be able to drop back and not having his head on a spindle where saying, where am I going to get hit from this time? And the sad thing is it's only really versus Seattle. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm sticking with Purdy. I'm not saying Purdy's trash. I don't think he's trash. I think he's far from trash. I think he's a solid quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he could lead this team to the 6th Super Bowl trophy, but he's not the quarterback where it's all him. He needs help, okay? The offensive line, the skill positions. It just seems year in and year out, the skill positions on this team get slower and slower and slower. They need to start changing that. So, I mean, that's all I got. I mean, I'll stay on just to see what the one-word answers Kyle Shanahan's going to give. And then I'm going to jump off.
All right. Let me get to these super chats really quick, guys. Javier, I had yours up there for a while. Thank you for the super chat, big dog. We really do appreciate it. He says here, yes, please put John on the hot seat. 3rd best GM in this division. I mean, he had his moments, but the moments have passed, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm kind of over it, but Tony talked about that already. We got one from Dakota here. Thank you, Dakota Miller. He says here, we got to stop being crybaby faithful. Our defense cap was $113 million. We lost $59.5 million early on. Played incredibly well compared to 25D. Great season. I think he's talking about Nick Bosa when we lost him early on and then losing.
They had $113 million allocated to defense. 59 of it was on the IR.
Right. And I understand that, but the complaints about the defense aren't about the players that were out there. It's the scheme. It's the spacing that causes so many missed tackles. You know what I'm saying? And so we'll argue about that later on. I do appreciate that, and it is some food for thought. You know, we had a lot of injured, important players. Bosa, Warner, hell, Micah Williams was a 1st-round pick. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of guys that weren't there. But I'm not going to make any excuses for tonight. Seattle Seahawks came out there and they did their damn thing. They played really, really well. And shout out to the Seahawks. Y'all went out there and y'all did your thing. Absolutely. I'm not going to sit there and make any excuses at all. I thought the Niners were going to win. I felt that Kyle was going to have a different game plan than what he had in Week 18, and boy, was I wrong. He didn't at all. It looked like the same exact thing. I thought Robert Saleh was going to learn his lesson. I thought we did a good job containing Saquon Barkley, and I said, good, that can carry over into the next week, right? And boy, was I wrong. I came on and said loud and proud, there's no way they run for 180 yards on us again and pass for 180 yards. I was wrong. That Kenneth Walker had 140-plus yards on his own tonight. I'm sure they eclipsed 180. And matter of fact, I don't need to guess this. Sam Darnold only threw for 124. He only threw for 124. So Kenneth Walker, they finished with 175 rushing yards. I mean, it's right there. They finished with 106 passing yards. So, you know, like they went out there and they did what they were supposed to do. We got one more super chat here from Sean. Thank you, Sean. He says, we need to can Kyle too, for real. Garbage against this guy. Spags and the guy from Cleveland. He's talking about Schwartz. He's a choker, man. We need to clean house on offense too. You know, and there's another name that you didn't even say, and it's Flores. Flores, McDonald, Schwartz, and Spags all have Kyle's number.
Do you see the common denominator with all of them?
What's that?
They're all high pressure package defenses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when you don't have an offensive line.
Exactly. We've invested so much into this defensive line, and I think we got an early head start. I think we jumped ahead of it. I think the Niners went out and they invested heavily into this defensive line this year. But it's not like they haven't been doing that. So let me be clear. They've been addressing it. But this year was a clear focus. The first 5 picks were on defense. The 3 of the 5 were defensive linemen. So they definitely wanted to invest in it. We need to do this same thing with the offensive line. I don't care whether you hate Brock Purdy or you love him. Brock Purdy can't play any game the way that he had to play tonight. I was mad in the first half. There was one attempt where he threw in rhythm, just one. In the second half, I don't remember seeing any. He just had no time back there at all. And the few times that he did have time, he had been running all night long, so he moved early when he didn't have to. But how was he supposed to know that? And then the one time late in the second half when he didn't move and thought he had protection, strip sack from behind. So the offensive line, just not cutting it, guys. I'm sorry, it's not. I don't know that we need to clean house on the offensive side as opposed to we need to revamp and retool. That offensive line needs to make over, and we need to bring in another wide receiver and tight end as well. We have a lot of holes that we need to address early on, and I don't know that we have enough to do it in just one draft. It's going to be a 1 or 2 year process. That doesn't mean we can't improve, though. And so that's going to be the interesting part. This offseason is going to be really, really good. I can't wait to start breaking down film and looking at players and all that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's what I got on that. Thank you all for the super chats. I'll keep my eye on it to see if any more are coming. At this point, we are going to bring in Kyle Shanahan. Let's see what he had to say following this loss. And like I said, I haven't given any of my thoughts yet. I'm gonna run it all down. But let's hear from Kyle Shanahan first. Here we go.
All right, guys. Injuries from the game. Alfred Collins had a shoulder. He returned. Chris McCaffrey with a stinger. Came back for a little bit, but we ended up taking him out. Jake Tonjes had a foot, didn't return. D. Winters got evaluated for concussion. Got cleared.
What do you tell your team after this game and after the season that you had?
I'm going to pause that right there. I love this question straight out the gate. I absolutely love it. What are you telling your team? Tony, you said a bunch of one-word answers. Can't do it there. He's got to say something. He's got to give us something of substance here. What are you telling your team after this performance? Great question.
Game and after the season that you had.
And after the season you had.
We're real disappointed with today. We obviously didn't have it today. Credit to them. Try not to harp on that. I try to, we can discuss some of that stuff on Monday when we get back together. But I just thanked them for the whole season, how much they battled through everything. I know everyone in there was sick about tonight and the way that went in every facet. But I try not to make about tonight when I was in there with them. Just kind of thanked them for what they've done all year, and been extremely, extremely proud of everyone in that room throughout this year.
On the first drive, your first drive, you had 4th down, looked like you had conversion, they blew it dead for a timeout. What was the explanation there? Did they say they just got the timeout in, or what was your kind of response?
Yeah, I was upset with it. We were able to run the play, but when it's noisy, I can't totally fault them for that. I don't know exactly how it happened. I didn't know that there was a timeout called, so I saw the play, and so did they, obviously. But sometimes when a coach calls a timeout, you can't get it all the way to the main guy, so it is what it is.
You seem to have some harsh words for Bernardo or some intense dialogue there. Can you give us any background on what was going on?
Yeah, nothing in particular. Just coaching him on a certain play, a certain technique, and just coaching aggressively.
That's bullshit.
Huh?
That's not bullshit. I like that answer. I thought that was a really good answer. So he didn't say, can you tell us what you said to him? It said, can you give us some background on it? That was after he busted on a play. He said, I was aggressively coaching him on technique and how to play. That's a good answer. Listen.
Yeah, nothing in particular. Just coaching him on a certain play, a certain technique, and just coaching aggressively.
He got in his ass about that one play that he let up. You disagree with that?
I think it was more than that. I think he fucking lost his shit on him because it was a third down situation, and he sat and looked in the backfield, and that's where Cup got behind him and got the first down in that key drive, where they had an opportunity to swing the momentum, but of course they didn't. And he actually benched Green. That's how you know it wasn't just aggressive coaching. He fought, bro. His face was red as hell, and he was yelling at him. There's a difference between aggressive coaching and losing your fucking mind on somebody. He lost his mind on him.
How would you word that? You're not going to say I flipped out on him. Aggressive coaching is, all right, now you're benched. You fucked up this coverage.
Don't sit there and be passive about it. Be like, listen, he blew the assignment. I addressed it with him, and I sat him down for a couple plays. Don't be like, or you just coached him up slightly aggressively.
Aggressive coaching about that play. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I mean, I think you're saying the same thing he said. I think it's just, it's
he's
similes.
blowing smoke up people's ass. He got caught on camera fucking ripping that guy, dude. I'm telling you, he ripped him to the point where he took his helmet off and walked away from him, and Kyle went after him yelling.
Yeah, that's the aggressive part of his statement. I agree. I get it. He's not going to quote what he was saying to him. So he said it was one play. Aggressive coaching, and part of the aggression is yelling at him. Part of the aggression is benching him for a couple plays. Sit down and think about it. Let me know when you get your head out your ass so you can get out here and play.
Yeah, that cost him a touchdown.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what it was.
The long game after
Huh?
you benched him briefly there, was that related to a play that?
Yeah, we called him over to try to talk to him about a certain coverage, and then we got him right back in.
It's a long game, obviously, but that kickoff return was that almost exactly what you cannot have happen. And did you feel like you were digging, climbing out a hole after that?
Not totally. I mean, if they score on the opening drive, it's the same issue too, So, I mean, yeah, it sucks when it's the first play and how that gets the stadium going and everything like that. But I thought we weathered that storm to a degree, It'd be nice to go down and answer right away. We got stopped on 3rd and 1 and stopped on 4th and 1. Then the next drive, we got the ball, we fumbled. So we gave them 2 scores like that and got down to a 17-0 deficit, which was tough and not at all what we wanted. I thought we weathered the storm when we made it 17-6. Was really hoping to go into the halftime with that score and would have felt pretty good about it based off how things went. I thought them converting that 3rd down on that last drive, they got the one on the penalty, I believe, if I'm remembering right, that allowed them to convert it. And on them scoring at the end of the second quarter, I thought was a huge deal in that game. That made us to where we had to answer on the first drive coming out, and we got stopped on 4th and 1 on that first drive coming out, and really after that, then the game was out of hand.
Yeah, so I mentioned that I count failed 4th down conversions as turnovers. The Niners, counting those, officially finished the game with 6 turnovers in this game. Based off of how I count them. 3 failed 4th downs, 2 fumbles lost, and an interception. That, to me, is 6 turnovers. That's 6 turnovers. And with all of that being said, they only had the ball for 1 minute more than the Niners. It's one thing to say a game of inches. This score does not reflect inches. But damn, man, I mean, we were better on 3rd downs than them. We had just as many 1st downs or 4 less than them. It was really, really wild, this game, man. Talk about – it's just everything that could go wrong at the wrong time for the Niners absolutely did in this game. Really quick, shout out to the Seahawks fans. I tagged you guys in the tag so you guys could search it up. I'm curious to know how many Seahawks fans are in here. Type in SS for Seattle Seahawks if you're a Seahawks fan in the chat. I just want to try to get a live look and see how many Seahawks fans are in here right now. Coming to see some 49er fans crying. I know you guys want to soak up some of our tears, man. You guys have earned it, so I'm just curious to see how many Seahawks fans are out there right now. All right? Type in SS if you're a Seahawks fan.
They performed really well most of the season. Why do you feel it struggled so much the past 2 games against Seattle?
Because they got a really good defense. They got a real good defense. I liked how we came to play in that first half a lot more.
If you have ED, you might need to work on your mental.
Why do I get these?
When you're aroused, your brain releases dopamine.
Nothing counts for it.
I always wonder how they determine what ads are going to pop up on my shit. And I get so many ED ads. I'm going to have to check my wife's browser history. Does she think I have a problem? I always, bro, you know how, you buy something and then, you're scrolling on a website and then, those ads are on the sides? Right? I bought this cologne from this company, and now the company is advertising all over my tablet when I'm playing games and shit like that. Now these ED commercials just keep popping up on my YouTube. Now, thank God they're only on my YouTube, and they're not actually, on the games that I play and popping up on the sides. But, this shit is, maybe it's just a YouTube thing, but, I don't understand, man. I got to go in there and do some push-ups or something. All right, anyways, sorry, back to it.
And then the next time up, we had a turnover with the fumble. And then when we got stopped on downs in the beginning of the third quarter, then it was out of hand. And then we got away from the run.
By the way, did you hear that question from Grant, Tony?
No, I didn't.
Grant said, you've had a really good offense back. You guys were going throughout the season. Pretty good offense all season long. Why do you think you struggled so much against the Seattle these last 2 times you played against them? I love Grant Cohn,
I liked
bro.
how we came to play in that first half a lot more. I thought we were much more ready. I thought we were moving the ball. But when you get stopped on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1,
Listen to
counts
this.
for it. And then the next time up, we had a turnover with the fumble. And then when we got stopped on downs in the beginning of the third quarter,
Grant Cohn is funny as shit.
And then
These are the questions that need to be asked.
Trying to get back
Other than
into
the whole,
it.
they have a good defense. See, I didn't like that answer. That's what you wanted to avoid, Tony.
Won the league over the last 2 years and not giving up big plays. And when you get down a lot, and it's going to be tough to get back if you can't generate those big plays.
How do you think Brock played? I think they only had a couple sacks, but...
Oh, shit. Maybe I didn't go back far enough. I'm sorry. I want to hear that Grant Cohn question again.
4th and 1 on that first drive coming out and halftime with that score, and would have felt pretty good about it based off how things went. I thought them converting that 3rd down on that last drive. 4th and 1 on that first drive.
Really well most of the season. Why do you feel it struggled so much the past 2 games?
Here it is.
The game was out of hand.
Your offense performed really well most of the season. Why do you feel it struggled so much the past 2 games against Seattle?
Because they got a really good defense. They got a real good defense. I liked how we came to play in that first half a lot more. I thought we were much more ready. I thought we were moving the ball. But when you get stopped on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, nothing counts for it. And then the next time up, we had a turnover with the fumble. And then when we got stopped on downs in the beginning of the third quarter, then it was out of hand. And then we got away from the run, trying to get back into it. And that team doesn't give up big plays. That's why they're number 1 in the league over the last 2 years and not giving up big plays. And when you get down a lot, and it's going to be tough to get back if you can't generate those big plays.
How do you think Brock played? I think they only had a couple sacks, but he was running for his life a lot.
No one played perfect.
I love that the media said, how do you think Brock played? And before Kyle got a chance to get in there, he said he was running for his life a lot. Make it known to him in his face that your offensive line sucks. I love that. I love it. He's going to give a bullshit fluff answer, but this is what I want from this media. This is good. And it might be Seattle media. I didn't recognize that voice, but cool.
No one played great today. No one coached great today. They got us pretty good. So, but I thought Brock made a number of plays out there. But on the second half.
Shot at the coaching staff. Did you hear that, Tony?
No.
No one played great today. No one coached great today.
No one played great today. No one coached great today. They got us pretty good. So, but I thought Brock made a number of plays out there. But on the second half, it got away from all of us.
Obviously, this is fresh right now, but how do you process, the resilience you guys showed to get this far with all the stuff you had to deal with during the season and the way it ends tonight?
I'll process that over the next. I'm gonna process that a lot tonight. I'll do it a lot tomorrow. I'll do that over the next month. You think about the season always throughout the off season. Tonight's a little hard. I tried to articulate that to the guys so we didn't get caught up so much tonight. Like I said earlier, I'm very proud of a lot of guys in there, and we're extremely disappointed right now. But that doesn't take away for how I feel about the guys in there.
I know he didn't play, but Fred Warner wanted to play, and you had to kind of keep him at bay with it. He was in the box, came down at some point in the game to kind of get the team together. What can you just say about what he was able to kind of do out there to kind of help?
Point. I don't want to hear a fucking Fred Warner question right now. Fuck out of here.
With guys coming on the sidelines.
Well, this loss
Thank you. It doesn't matter.
Historic in terms of 49er playoff losses. Just wondering, to have a season end like this, do you just kind of flush it?
Oh, shit. Tony, is this the worst 49ers postseason loss ever? She said this was a historic loss for the 49ers. In the postseason.
Yeah. It might be.
Worst 49ers playoff loss. AI says 49ers worst playoff loss in terms of win margin, 49-3 defeat to the New York Giants in 1986. Second one was today, 41-6. Yep. This is the second worst loss ever in 49ers history. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's the kind of stuff that Jed York ain't going to tolerate right there. All right, let's get back to it.
Or do you think that the imbalance of this loss is going to linger?
No, it's a loss. It's very understandable to see how it got away. We'll do that from a football standpoint, and you evaluate that throughout the offseason. But it was a tough playoff loss, but definitely don't make more of it than what it was. It was a loss.
The third and one and the fourth and one that you got stopped on, you've had a lot of success with Purdy sneaking there. What would just not like the look on either of those, or what kind of was behind the play calls there?
Yeah, if the sneak was there, we would have done it. You know, they take away the sneak. So we sneak it when it's there, and they played all the sneak. They took up all the gaps on the inside on the plays, and we liked the pass. And then on the fourth down, we thought we could get to the edge because they're all inside playing the gaps to take away the sneak. So we thought we could leave one on the edge to option, and we missed that, and there was two on the edge, which made it a problem to option them.
There's another question that you're going to have to think about some, but what you accomplished this season with all the injuries, the young players playing, does it lead you to believe what's possible next season? Do you start thinking about that?
Yeah, I mean, I always think about what's possible and stuff, and but I mean, it's definitely the last thing I've thought about. I haven't thought about that at all recently, and haven't thought about it all up to this moment. But a lot of guys got to play this year that haven't played in the past, and that should help us for the future. But we'll come in Monday, and we'll deal with all this stuff, put this game to bed, and deal with all the players, and then we'll very quickly start on our off-season plan and how to build this team the best way possible to give us a shot next year.
With Sam coming in with the oblique strain and not going through warm-ups, did you guys feel that you wanted to attack him? And is that pressure just hasn't been there throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, I know Sam with having the oblique stuff, but warm-ups are like that, but it takes a while for the Toradol to kick in, so we knew he'd be fine once kickoff came, which that doesn't really have to do with pressure and stuff. That sometimes can affect how they throw, but usually when that Toradol kicks in, it doesn't. So Sam played really well today, but it was also just with the turnovers, the special teams touchdown, us getting stopped on 4th and 1 twice, which is the same as a turnover. That would actually, I think, be 5 if you count those. And it was a...
See, he counts the failed 4th downs as turnovers also.
It was a whole team.
But it's 6, Kyle, not 5. It's 6.
Christian and his ability to stay upright through a historic amount of touches. I'm sure there's stuff he battled through the season with you.
I think this was one of the most impressive seasons by an individual player ever, just in terms of what a warrior and man he is week in and week out. Like, people to do that every week and to do it for 17 weeks in a row, not getting a bye week till December, and then to do it these last 2 games. Like Christian finds a way every week. He commits himself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to get his body possible to go out there and compete. And I've never been around anything like that. The dude was unbelievable, his dedication to really empty the tank every single game. And to be able to do that many games in a row is something that I've never really seen before.
Kyle, there's a distinct possibility you may lose both coordinators. What can you say about Sala and Kubiak and the job that they did this year for you?
They've been unbelievable. I love both those guys. They're 2 as good of coaches I've been around, and I know both of them will be head coaches, whether it's in a week or so or whether it's over the next 2 years. But we're lucky to have those guys, and for our sake, I hope that we'll still have them next year.
Would you let Kubiak go if it was a lateral move, if he had a play calling role as an offensive coordinator?
No. He calls a lot of plays here, so he's our offense coordinator. So I don't know why we'd let him be someone else's offense coordinator.
All
right. Thanks, guys.
All right, that's it for Kyle Shanahan. I'm going to remove that from the stream now. Faithful, you guys have been patiently waiting. Seahawks fans, you guys have been patiently waiting. I'm going to drop this link in here, and I want to hear from you guys. And I'm going to open it up to anybody. You don't have to be a fan of the 49ers. I don't care if you're not a fan of the Seahawks. You just want to come in and talk about the season that the 49ers had. If you want to talk about this game, that's what I want to hear about. Keep it about sports, and we're going to be good. Before I do that, though, I do want to say a couple of things really quick. This was a phenomenal season for the 49ers. We overachieved on a lot of different fronts here. This team should not have been where they are, and I understand people are really, really, really upset about how this game played out. this game is not what we expected. None of us. I picked the Niners to win. I thought the Niners had a chance to win by double digits. Thought that if they kept it low scoring, we could jump out ahead, get some turnovers from Sam Darnold late in the game, and then take advantage of it. I predicted a slow start for the offense, but alas, that was not how it was supposed to go. We overachieved. People are saying fire Kyle Shanahan. Guys, I got to tell you something. Kyle Shanahan is a favorite to win Coach of the Year. You're not getting this far with this roster and that terrible defense without Kyle Shanahan. So I understand how you guys are feeling right now. I get it, but Kyle's not going anywhere. Now, if there's other people that you want to see fired and all that, that's cool. And when you guys come in here to join, you can also say, hey, like, fire Kyle Shanahan. I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm going to give you guys the floor. I'm going to give you guys 90 seconds. Here's what I want you to do, though. I want you guys to type your name as it appears on or in the comments. So that way I can put a face to the name. A lot of times people jump in and they put like a coded name or something like that. If you don't mind putting your YouTube handle in there so I can put a face with the name, join the show and let me know how you guys are feeling, okay? All right. Tony, any other thoughts before I let you go? I see you over there wincing in pain, and I'll go take those meds and go to sleep, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep. I got nothing more to say.
All right, brother. I appreciate you for jumping in here, man. You have a great night, all right?
All right, thanks, you too.
All right, bye. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing rocking, guys. This was an interesting game. Terrible for the 49ers, terrible for our defense, terrible for our offense, terrible for our offensive line. I don't know why, who even caught passes for the 49ers tonight? Let's see. Jake Tungus caught 5. Christian McCaffrey caught 5. Jennings caught 2. Juszczyk caught 1. James, Robinson, Farrell, and Robinson caught 1. There was no need to dress Ricky Pearsall. There was no need to dress Ricky Pearsall. He had 2 targets. Kendrick Bourne had 2 targets. These guys just couldn't get anything going at all. Really, really good defense there. Mike McDonald is going to be a thorn in the side of the 49ers for a long time. The link is officially in the chat, guys. Click that link. Join the show. That's not the one I clicked. There we go. Click the link. Join the show. Let us know how you're feeling, all right? I'm going to bring you guys in here one by one. Because I want to hear from you guys. I sincerely do. All right. I thought this was a great season. I thought this was a terrible game. All right. And I am not here to yell at Seahawk fans. I'm not here to cry. I'm not here to make excuses. We got our asses whooped. I don't know the last time I saw a game this bad by the 49ers. But the Niners had to do a lot of traveling. You know what I'm saying? The Niners had to play on a short week. We were playing up against a well-rested opponent, all that stuff, man. So, it is what it is. That's where we are. I'm going to start popping you guys in here, all right? So the link is in there, all right? It's going to be first come, first serve, swallow your food, and I'll get you up here, man. I'm giving everybody 90 seconds, all right? After the 90 seconds, I'm going to kick you from the studio and move on to the next person. All right, and if it's taking a while for the next person to come up, we're going to continue with the pressers until someone else joins in. All right, so I'm going to post the link here again. Join the show. And again, reflect on whatever you want, on the game, on the season, whatever it is that you want to do. You guys feel free to join, all right? There's that link right there. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead. We got Miguel on here first, man. Let's go, Miguel.
What's going on, man?
Big dog?
What's going on, family? How y'all doing?
I'm blessed, man. I'm always blessed, man. So I'm here, and that's how I look at it, man. I thought we had a blessed season. Didn't end the way we wanted it to, but look, that's my thoughts. The floor is yours, man. Go ahead and sound off, man. However you feeling. Let's go, baby.
Well, first and foremost, I want to give all glory to God as my Lord and Savior. Secondly, I want to give all my kudos to the real faithful, not the fake faithful, but the real faithful. And thirdly, I want to give shout out to this team. This team that was without significant players on both offense and defense. to come into this season without with our expectations having significant players and seeing this team achieve what it achieved with the losses that we. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there's nobody that can convince me that if you had any other team that suffered the significant losses where we suffer losses would achieve what we achieved at all. It's not even possible. Starters are starters for a reason. That ain't never been a cliche. That's the truth. We've always said it. We will acknowledge the loss of all these starters that we had to achieve what we achieved was a phenomenal feat. No, it didn't turn out how we wanted it to turn out. It would have been the most amazing season if we had achieved going to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl with this team, with all the hate for Brock Purdy, with all the hate for Kyle Shanahan, and as depleted as we were. Kudos to the San Francisco 49ers for doing what they did this year.
Well said, big dog.
I want to do a little slight segue.
We got to be quick. We got people waiting.
I'm gonna be quick. I'm do a slight segue. My son has a Ford F-150, and just recently he started having issues with lots of issues with his car. It wouldn't start, and he got it started. Came to church. We took it to the mechanic. The car is sitting at about 130,000 miles, 140, 50,000 miles, somewhere close to there. Your timing belt, the time where you're starting to have major issues that come up. He took it to a mechanic. The mechanic said, "Oh, you just need to replace your auxiliary and you need a tune-up." Got that done. We did that work. And within 3 or 4 days, the car started acting up again. The mechanic didn't address the major issues that was really going on. He didn't even bring it up. And all the issues that he's having is because he's at that point now where the attrition of the parts is starting to wear down, and he's now having to do significant. You can't do patchwork now. You can't just fix these little minor things. There are major issues you need to address. Our team faced the same thing, and our team overcame in adversity. So what I want us to say is we should look forward because George Kittle will be back late in the season. I don't know what's going to happen with Brandon Ayuk. But the simple fact that we overachieved should be something that we should acknowledge. And another thing we should look at is we overachieved with a quarterback that everybody said couldn't do it, and they keep moving the goalpost on him. And every time he achieves higher, they just keep moving the goalpost. Keep that in mind going into the next season. Now,
wait. I got to let you go, man. We got a lot of people waiting in the lobby down there. All right.
What's up, y'all?
Trust me, there'll be more shows coming real soon. All right, y'all be able to get your thoughts off. All right, James, I got you up next. All right, I see you down there, James. He's grabbing his headset down there. There we go, James. Let's go, man.
Hey,
oh, by the way, real quick before I start the clock on you, man. If you guys want to join and don't want to be on camera, you can turn your camera off, and I'll get the audio still. So I'll work with you guys also. If you guys don't want to be on camera, that's absolutely okay. I don't mind that either. All right, James. Oh, where'd he go? Damn, he did all that waiting and he left. All right, well, I'm gonna move on to Eddie. Eddie, we got you there. When James comes back in, I'll pop him back in here. He'll be next up, okay? You guys can turn your camera off. Don't leave the studio. You can turn your camera off. All right. Eddie, the floor is yours, big dog.
Man, what a rough way to go out, Mike. It's a rough way to go, bro. But I am proud of this team. That's a lot. That's a lot to overcome. A lot.
For sure.
But yeah, man, I got to tip my hat to the Seahawks, bro. Got to tip it because as much as I hate saying it, we got our ass whooped. That was a whooping. No other way to put it.
Belt to ass, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But really, really, really looking forward to hopefully seeing some good moves this offseason. Man, if they don't address this offensive line, they got to. I just watched a content creator on TikTok. make fun of Christian McCaffrey. You believe that? Tried to say Christian
How?
McCaffrey playing hurt. The guy's carried this team, this offense on his back this whole year. But I mean, you're going to get those fans no matter where you go. That aside, great year. Hopefully, we get healthy. I wish we could have saw Fred this game. That would have been incredible. Do I think he would have made a big difference? I don't know about that. Seahawks came out with a purpose, bro, and they made a statement, and they really did. So, but I want to also thank you, thank Wayne, all you content creators have been holding it down all season and just pumping us up. This has been a lot of fun to watch. Tonight wasn't that fun, but I'm proud of this team. I'm never, we don't give up. They call us faithful for a reason.
That's right, baby.
Oh, and I have to mention, shout out to the wife. One of my gifts of my stocking this year for Christmas was membership to the Patreon for Nothing But Niners. So shout out to my wife for that.
Shout out
I'll
to
let
wifey,
you know that.
man. Let's go. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
but-
about. That deserves a horn right there, man. Shout out to wifey. We appreciate it.
But no, man, seriously though, I wish Tony was still here to thank him too, because I love listening to y'all talk together. It was fun listening to you and Wayne together again. I love how people thought there was beef between you, but y'all do some great stuff on here. Keep doing what you're doing, and I look forward to next season, man. Hopefully, I'm out here in South Georgia, bro. They're playing the Falcons next year. We got to get you out to Atlanta.
All right. Yeah, and my pop's out there. It's a very strong likelihood I'll be out there at that game, man. So I'll
hope to
definitely
see
let you know. We can meet up somewhere, all right?
All right, bro.
All right, Eddie. Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to bring James up to the stage now. He was here before. Let me see here. There we go. All right, James, you are in now, man. We got you here. All right, there you go. What's going on, my man?
How you doing? I love your show. I love your content. So I just wanted to say thank you for everything. I've watching you for the last few years.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I just had a birthday yesterday, just like Wayne.
And my daughter's birthday too. Happy birthday, man. Let's go, man.
Right on. Yeah, there's a lot of birthdays coming. I know more than I knew before in January, it seems like. But anyway, I just want to quickly, I know you got a lot of people. I'm depressed, man. Like, I'm really sad. I'm fucking pissed. Like, that's my feelings. I just feel like we're so, like, far away from the team that Seattle is. It's like, I believe when we had a great defense, like the Kaepernick years, even the Garoppolo years. I just think it's like we have so many pieces to fix, and it's not going to happen in 1 year, 2 years. I mean, I just think we're too far behind. That's probably what's making me sad, because I'm trying to think, we did have a good year, considering all the injuries, but it's really difficult for me to sit here and go, let be happy of next year coming, because I just don't feel like how much are we really going to improve to compete with a team like Seattle? You know what I mean? How much are we really going to improve to maybe even compete with a team like the Rams? And I think that's just all I really have to say. It's just, I'm really sad and depressed. It's been very emotional for me. I was hoping to get a birthday wish that they would win.
Right.
We could have probably taken it to the Super Bowl, maybe won a Super Bowl if we got by this team. But yeah, it's a hard one, man. It's a heartbreaker. But thank you so much for everything you guys do. I really appreciate you guys. So.
No problem, man. I just want to say this to you really quick. I don't think the Niners are 3 or 4 years away from being where they want to be. I think 2 years is enough to do it. You can rebuild an offensive line in 2 years. I think that if you get the offensive line right, you can find a wide receiver. And they, like I said, they started laying the groundwork. That secondary is young. They're all here to stay for at least the next 3 or 4 years. They'll get better with the defensive linemen that we drafted. And the linebackers that we've drafted. This team has put together some good pieces. Now we just got to kind of retool, recalibrate. I don't think we're 1 year away. I think that's a little unrealistic. But I think that I'm going to put you on mute. They're saying they're getting feedback. Sorry. But I do think that 2 years we'll be in a really, really good spot. One thing about those injuries that we got this year is that it allowed the the young players, especially on the defensive side of the ball, to get a lot of really good experience that they otherwise would not have gotten. This team does not play rookies as quickly as they should, and that's what Tony was alluding to when he had the floor at the beginning of the show. So hold your head, man. We'll get better, and thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it, man. Have a good one. All right. Darren, you were up next. I'm going to pop you in here now. All right. We got Darren in there. There we go. What's going on, man?
It sucks to see an embarrassing loss, but we'll look forward to next year. A lot of positives. But also, I do agree with Tony. We need to play the younger guys sooner. That needs to get addressed by Lynch himself. Because that's Kyle's thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot for this team to address. They just we got to be patient when we're doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
if Lynch doesn't address that, then he needs to be on a hot seat, because I want to know why we aren't playing all these younger ones sooner.
Right. Like, James came in and he showed a little bit of promise. Like, where's he been all year? You know, but we also had Robinson here. Why you go out and trade for him if you weren't going to use him nearly as much? You could have spelled McCaffrey some, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, and that's kind of, you know, when you reflect on the season, those are the things that we're going to come up with, you know. People are upset about how certain players were used, how some players weren't used, and all. And like I said, one of the good things is that the injuries forced them to have to dig deep and test the depth.
And I don't think a Super Bowl window's closed yet. We build our open fund, we'll be back. We don't, then it will be closed.
I agree. If we run back out there with the same offensive line, just wrap up next year. Don't get your hopes up, guys. So this offseason is going to be crucial, man. Free agency and the draft is going to play a big part in how I judge what I expect us to do next year. Yep. Anything else for us, Darren? I got Trey Area up next. If you're not, if you don't have anything else for us.
Nothing else.
All right, man. You be safe out there. All right, brother.
All
right. Oh, there we go. Trey
What's up,
Area.
Mike? What's up,
going
Mike?
on,
What's
man?
going on, man? Nothing much, man. Look, man. I ain't even gonna be too long with you, man. I'm just saying, man. It's just with me, man. It's the same movie, man. I've been a Niners fan for 40 years, man. And you know, under Kyle regime, it just seemed like the same movie with me, man. Injuries, can't beat certain coaches. Big letdown at the end is like it's a rise up, and then it's a big letdown. You know, I just think that, man, you know, in the off season, I don't know if the draft even going to help us, because he never plays them. So I don't know if that even going to help. You know what I mean? So with that being said, it's like, first of all, you need to do something with them trainers. You have to keep people healthy. You know, we got to get people healthy, and give me an aggressive coordinator in there, man. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Aggressive coordinator. I hear you.
Okay, but you know, I think Kyle's a good coach. I just think he's stubborn with this game. I don't think he adjusts to what his injuries, when he do get injuries, like everybody else. Like I see McVay, when I think one of his receivers went down early in the year, he went to 13 personnel and figured out he had something with that 3 tight end set, and you know, he stuck with it. And I see with McDonald, he been doing that same defense against Kyle since he was in Baltimore, and they killed us on Christmas Day, Christmas night or whatever. So I just think that he's gets stubborn with his scheme, and you know, he be having the players there, man. You got Tonjes and Kittles out there. You can't come up with a 12 personnel to get them both on the field, man. It's like just telling me that, okay, you just, you know, believe in your scheme and there's certain players and certain matchups too much. And I don't say fire him. I mean, unless you're gonna give me Kurt Signetti from Indiana, you know, that's the only way I'm talking about firing him. But other than that, man, it's just I just wish it was just going to be a different movie next year. You know, offensive line, yeah, that's one, but 2, you got to figure out a way to keep these boys on the field, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think one of the biggest knocks on Kyle is his stubbornness, right? Like you said, you know, he's got his guys and he's just going to run with them. And that's on both sides of the ball. That even goes with his coaches, right? Like, I don't know why he still likes this defense. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know why he is so infatuated and just stuck on this stupid fucking defense. It really, really annoys me, man. And it's like he sat here and saying, "Oh, I like Kubiak and I like Salah. They're two of the best they're two of the best that I've ever coached with." I'm not going to say he's lying. How about you start coaching with more? You know what I'm saying? Stop hiring people that you just happen to know, and go and get somebody from the tree of these defensive coordinators that make you struggle. If you think that you're this great offensive genius, yet McDonald and Schwartz and Flores, all these guys, Spags, they all get to stump you year in and year out. You struggle the most against them. Why hasn't your brain clicked and said, hey, maybe I should try someone from that coaching tree? Maybe I should try to bring that scheme here, right? We know why he fell in love with this current version. It's because when he was with Atlanta, he said that was the hardest defense to play against. He said that defense gave me the most fits. It was the hardest to come up with a game plan. And so I want that defense when I become a head coach. Cool. You've done that. You were hired in 2017. We're almost at 10 years. And you've only seen this defense be successful and really good 3 of those 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? D'Amico Ryans had this defense humming, but he did something a little different. He put a lot more responsibility on those linebackers when D'Amico was there, and that's because he's a former linebacker. Exactly. Robert Saleh was completely dependent on 2 players to make his defense work, because the first 2 years that Robert Saleh was here, we had the pitchforks and we wanted him gone. Kyle, this defense does not work. It's old. He keeps sticking with Chris Kosaric. I don't get it. You've invested so much money in that defensive line, so many draft picks, so many free agents in that defensive line, and they let you down every single year as soon as Nick Bosa goes down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I think, man. He's just too dependent. It's almost like, I remember that movie, Remember the Titans, where Denzel said, man, like, I only got 6 plays. We're going to run them. And, it's like Novocaine. Keep running until it eventually works. I just think he's trying to do that, man. Like, we just going to keep running to whoever out there. We're going to run into, it's going to work eventually. It's like, nah, man, I seen Jordan James with that burst and everything. And it seemed like McCaffrey's still a good running back, man. But you could tell late, you got wear and tear on those sides, man. He ain't had that same burst this game. You seen them fresh legs. James come in, just seen a burst. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's something that, you need those young guys out there. You got to, I don't know why you don't play them, early in the season, man. They got to sink or swim. Yeah, they messed up, bench them and everything like that. But, man, you got all these injuries at wide receiver, man. But we lack of speed. McDonald coming out there, he ain't fooled by your motions. You sending McCaffrey out there all the way to the sideline just to see if they're man-to-man on that. Well, I'm like, what kind of youth football shit is that? You send him to the sideline to see if they're man-to-man? That's the way you're going to try to diagnose with his defense, because he's not moving. They want to stay in that too-high shell quarter coverage defense and 4 linemen. He's not moving. You say you need speed to beat him, but speed. You got Jordan. What is it? Jordan Watkins, Calvin. You got all that speed on the sideline, but you don't want to play the boys. So I don't even think Juwan Jennings got a target today. They didn't even get a target. I mean, he did. I think Juwan Jennings. He actually led the team as far as the wide receiver position goes. Juwan Jennings was the leading. Yeah, believe it or not, he had 2 receptions. He had 5 targets. He had 2 receptions. That was the leading receiver. Receiver. Okay, because I already said Tonjes had like 5 catches. 6
Yeah. No, not pass catchers, the receivers. Tonjes and McCaffrey had 5, and both of them had 6 targets. Juwan Jennings had 5 targets and 2 receptions. One of them was a really big drop, but it is what it is, man. Kyle's just got to get out of his. He's got to step it up, man.
Yeah, I think he's just in his own way, man. Just get rid of that urgency. Somebody in the building maybe need to go ahead and be able to check him and try to, create some pushback or something, man. And everything. I don't know why people saying five Lynch, man, because he can draft all the players we want, man, but we don't see him on the field. I mean, how we gonna know they're gonna pan out or not? I don't even know what Jordan Watkins gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or James, the running back. We've been looking for an edge rusher for the past 4 years. That's the only thing I can say, man. You can't find an edge rusher.
So here's why I say Lynch might be on the hot seat. It's because he's Kyle's buddy. Right? Lynch isn't going to tell Kyle, hey, go out there and play this guy I just drafted. Go out and play this guy I just picked up in free agency. Kyle has so much power in this building that he has final say on everything. You can't do that, right? Imagine having a guy on the sidelines and all the coaches feel like, hey, he's ready. And Kyle's like, yeah, no, we still got this guy. That's why they've stayed with this offensive line the way that they have. They've only ever changed offensive linemen because other guys have priced themselves out. They really went into the season and said, yeah, Jake Brendle's good. They really went into the season saying Colton McKifford's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only reason Pooney, Aaron Banks, these guys ever got in is either due to injury or Lincoln Tomlinson pricing himself out. They refuse to make changes, and that's what – when people say fire Kyle, they're going to miss this offensive scheme because it works. When it works, it's great. Let's not beat around the bush. They're going to miss this offensive scheme. However, when people are upset with Kyle, I think it's more about the decision-making. Overall, they're saying fire Kyle, the head coach. I don't think that people are necessarily upset with the coach, but the decisions that he makes it's mind-boggling, man. It makes you scratch your head. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's
all right, man.
Hit the nail on the head, man.
I'm gonna let you go, man. I appreciate you jumping in here. I think it's the first time I've ever had you on the show, so I appreciate you jumping in here, big dog.
Hey, man, I always check you out, man. I'll be in the comments, be trying to light it up. But thanks a lot, man. Appreciate your show, man. I'm always checking in, man. Thanks a lot, man. Have me on.
Thank you, man. Be blessed.
Yeah, you too.
All right, guys. The link is there if you guys want to join the show. I just posted it again. Now, in the meantime, I am going to get to a couple of super chats that I saw roll in really quick. So let me answer these super chats, and then after the super chats, I will go to. Oh no, I read that one already. After the super chats, I will go to Brock Purdy if no one is back down there to vent. All right. So Eddie, thank you very much, man. Oh, my man is contributing 2 times on camera and in the super chats. Love y'all. Not the ending we wanted. Looking forward to the offseason moves. Thank you, NB Niners, for a great year. Oh, and fuck Brandon Ayuk. Keep killing it, Mike. Bro, man, listen. Players that quit on the team get absolutely no love from me. Ever. So you quit on the team, I'm not going to say you're as good as dead because I don't wish death on anybody, but you're dead to me as far as football goes. So, you won't hear me cheering for him. Do I think the Niners can use a Brandon Ayuk? Absolutely. Do I think he's going to have talent? For sure. Do I think that we would have been better if he was with us this season? 100%, right? But when Debo did the whole thing like he didn't want to be here anymore, I stopped with the whole Debo praise. It's not going to happen. You make a good play, hey, good job. But that's as far as it goes. Brandon Ayuk, man, you really put your foot in it this year, man. You really put your foot in it. But thank you again for the super chat, Eddie, man. I appreciate you, man. This one here is from, wow, check that out, man. Crispy Bacon. From a Broncos fan, mad respect for the Niners and Kyle and the coaching staff. I appreciate you. Thank you for making the super chat, right? Some of this coaching staff, though, I would like to see some turnover. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I would love to see some turnover. Tua Man the Great. Thank you for your super chat here, and salute back to you. We got this one here from Tua Man again. All right, our first double of the night. Let's give him the horns. And let's drop a bomb on it. Why not? Why not, right? He says here, we had a great season, even if we won the Super Bowl with this team. I wouldn't have been no prouder for the toughness and resilience from our team put on display this year. Oh, I see what you're saying. Shout out to all the faithful. Keep the faith. So you're just as proud of this team, as if they won the Super Bowl. I'm not mad at that, man. I think that the team was tested heavily. I think that to get this far, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. We know what we've had to endure. We know what we've had to overcome this year, faithful. And that's why we're here, man. That's why we're here. So it's not going to change. Our love for this team isn't going to change, whether we're 0-17 or 17-0. Whether we win the Super Bowl, we don't make it to the postseason, it's not going to matter. Our love for this team isn't going to change. But I will say that I do have a lot of respect for how they performed this year, man. They answered that bell over and over and over with a bunch of people that we didn't even know a month ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, this team was a constant churning of the roster, constantly, man. When it's all said and done, I can't wait to see how many players actually took snaps for the 49ers this year. I'm willing to bet it's one of the highest they've ever seen before. So thank you very much to a man for that contribution. One more bomb. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. All right. Nigel Crane has the next super chat here. I believe that's his first one for the day. He says here, thanks for the therapy session. This loss hurts. Oh, man, does it? Does it hurt? if I didn't get that gut feeling at right before the game, 2 or 3 days before the game, man, I think I was prepared to lose this. I think that's why I'm not so upset, right? Going into this game, I was prepared. I was prepared to lose it. But as the game got closer and closer, I really started thinking to myself, like, man, like I could see ways that we can win this game. And you go back and you start watching the other game and you see the missed opportunities, right? If they could have just protected a little bit longer, that play was for the taking in week 18. Oh, man, if we could have just got that stop on that drive right there and we were in the place, but we missed 2 tackles, we could have done this and we could have done that. And I convinced myself that all those possibilities weren't going to happen again. I just thought that we would learn from the mistakes that we made. But alas, we didn't. We did not. And they came out and made those same exact mistakes again in this game on all sides of the ball. And this time it was even worse because our special teams unit let us down. Terrible returns, punt returns, kickoff returns. Nothing gave us any kind of pop. They were kicking away from Sky Moore for the majority of the game. The opening kickoff return for a touchdown. I mean, even the special teams dwindled down, man. Even the special teams took a hit in this game. It was the wrong time for them to fall completely apart. It just wasn't what we wanted to see at all. But we're here, man. We're here. We're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to cover this team. We're going to continue to hold our heads high. But today we get to be sad. Today we get to put our heads down just a little bit, man. This one hurt. Ugly one. But this is what we're here for, man. It's not just therapy for y'all. This is therapy for me as well. This is my distraction from what's going on in the real world. And so just like Kyle Shanahan, y'all, I ain't going nowhere. All right. Taj, thanks for the super chat. He says here, at what point does the front office notice Shanahan's flaws and stubbornness to not make – I'm sorry, let me read this again. At what point does the front office notice Shanahan flaws and stubbornness to not want to make necessary adjustments and get rid of him? It's going to be tough, man. Again, this guy is the favorite to win Coach of the Year, right? And so how do you get rid of a guy that's going to get Coach of the Year? How do you get rid of a guy that has half of his roster missing, right? We won 12 games this year, and Brock Purdy missed 8 games. I don't know that another team can lose their starting franchise quarterback for 8 games and still win 12 games. And by the way, when Brock Purdy went out, it's not like he had some nice – it's not like we were sitting at 4-1 when Brock Purdy went out. That's not where we were. We were 1-1 when we lost Brock Purdy. It's not like we were killing it and then Brock went out and then, those 8 games that he lost were the 4 or 5 losses that we had on the season. That's not what it was. We were 12-5, and we did that with Brock Purdy missing 8 games, guys. 8 games. And so Jed York is the person that can fire Kyle. I don't think that he's going to be willing to do it. Not this season. Not this season. Now, we keep losing to Seattle this way. See? Now you want to talk about what it's going to take to get Kyle Shanahan out of here? You keep losing to Seattle like this. When Seattle had that turkey wing at our 50-yard line, Jed York issued a public apology. I'd never seen it before. My man tweeted right away, I apologize to the faithful that came out. This is not acceptable, blah, 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 blah. That right there was when Jim Harbaugh was gone. You keep losing to division opponents like this, that's when you'll see it. That's when you'll see it. But this was a playoff game without George Kittle, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, blah, 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 blah. I don't think Jed York is going to have that feeling. When we lost that game against Seattle on Thanksgiving that made Jed York issue that apology, we were healthy. Our starters were out there on both sides of the ball. And so with this one in particular, it's not going to be received the same way by the people in power to replace or move on from him. And that's why he's not going anywhere just yet. I'm sorry. That's why they're not going to get rid of him. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. It's a great question. When are they going to notice his flaws and his stubbornness? That's a great question. Because we as content creators, as long as we keep drumming it up, if we keep pointing out his flaws, we're gonna make the people in the press box start realizing it. The people that get to ask him those important questions, when they start asking at the podium, like what we saw from Grant Cohn tonight. Grant Cohn straight out asked him, your offense is good all year long. Why do you struggle so much against this defense? That's when it starts. That's when the flaws start to be shown. Kyle, what takes you so long to start playing your rookies that you guys draft? Why'd you trade for Brian Robinson if you guys were only going to give him 70 touches on the year? Right? When they start asking those questions, when he has to answer publicly, that's highlighting the flaws. But because our media is so afraid to piss off Kyle Shanahan as if he has the power to, like, get them revoked, they won't do it. So it's up to the content creators to continue to drum it up, because what happens is the people in the pressers, the people that do have the press passes and get to ask the questions, they hear us and then they take it back over there. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take us content creators to do it. Taj doubles up here, man. Thank you again for the other one. I'll give you a party one. He says, I'm a Cowboys fan, but even then, seeing Shanahan blow multiple leads in the Super Bowl is crazy. I mean, I think he's a great coach, but stubborn. And that falls on the defensive coordinator, right? So you get a lead in the Super Bowl, you got the lead. You want your defense to get a stop. Every time Brock Purdy left the field in the last Super Bowl we played in, including in overtime, the Niners had the lead. Your defense could not make a stop. And you know what they did? They fired the defensive coordinator. This defense sucks. It is not a good defense. Don't let that Eagles game from last week fool you. This is not a good defense. And so maybe Jed York is in the ear of Kyle next week or the week after. It's time for some changes with this defense. It is. So I personally am not over Kyle, not just yet, but he's got to show me that he's willing to make some changes, man. And odds are he's not getting rid of Robert Saleh. I heard about that deal that they gave Robert Saleh. Odds are he's not going anywhere, guys. But that doesn't mean that Robert Saleh can't change the way he runs this defense. And that's the difference. We need to see changes to the defense. If you don't want to fire Robert Saleh, I get that. So you either have to hope he gets poached, you're not going to fire him, or you have to hold his feet to the fire and make him make changes. And because he speaks well and speaks slowly and speaks with intentions does not mean he's a good defensive coordinator. That's it. That's it. So, again, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to bring Brock Purdy up, man. I want to hear what Brock Purdy has to say about this game. And, again, I don't know how you guys feel out there. I don't blame Brock Purdy at all. I've never seen a quarterback running for his life so fucking much, man. This was a hard game to watch, bro. And by no stretch of the imagination was Brock Purdy perfect. Not at all. Not even close. Not even close. I was very disappointed with Brock Purdy in this game at certain points in time. I hated that he would not throw the ball in rhythm. Maybe people weren't getting open. I got to go back and look at the All-22. I didn't have a chance of seeing that. I had to watch the game as it was, right? But never did he get to his last step in his drop and then deliver, except one time that I saw. Never did he do it. Never did he do it. It's not good enough. Maybe the receiver's fault. Maybe the pass catcher's fault. I don't know. Damn, Taj is back again, bro. Hold up. Let's play this one. Let's go, Taj. Let's go, man. He said it seems like one more. He said it seems like this defense is just the same scheme Shanahan is a fan of. I mean, at least changes looks pre-snap, post-snap. Yeah, Shanahan fell in love with this defense back in 2016 or 15 when he was with the Falcons and just refused to make any changes, and it's got to go. It's got to go. There's no other way around it. That's it. It's got to go. This scheme is old. Wide 9 is trash. It leaves you vulnerable. It's just not good. How do you have a wide 9 and can't contain the edge? It's just terrible, man. It's absolutely terrible. That's on coaching. They are going to highlight the faults in this team, in this coaching staff, and they're going to be forced to address it. It's staring you in the face. It's staring you in the face, man. They got to do something. They have to do something. Everybody's moving away from this defense. The team that originated this defense moved away from it. Come on, man. Come on. Seifert's not here anymore. This defense don't work, bro. It don't work. Dude, let me get to... All right, my man is back again. Hold on. What sound effect do I have that I could play now? Hold on. My man, y'all letting a Cowboys fan come in here and out super chat, y'all. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, man. Let's go, baby. Sound the alarm. Cowboys fans representing, man. Let's go. Damn, that's crazy. All right. 49ers should hire Eberflus. Laughing my ass off. Just kidding. All right, get out of here, man. Get out of here. All right, man. Let's hear what Brock Purdy has to say. We waited long enough. Brock, what's going on, man? How do you think you performed today?
Perspective on a tough game for you guys.
Yeah, man. Obviously a good team, but I feel like, we just sort of similar as the last game in terms of you need to capitalize on third downs and some of those fourth and shorts. That's what comes to mind first. And then, once we get down to the red zone, still finding a way to score touchdowns. And the field goals were great, yes, but I don't know. I just feel like, those turnover on downs were, spotting them good field position. Just feel like that was the theme of the game. Yeah.
Al said he was sort of telling you guys don't feel so down. Obviously, it hurts to lose this game, but he was proud of what happened. Can you get there at this moment? Understand what this team kind of overcame?
Yeah, obviously, we're fresh out of a game, and our goal was obviously to come in here, win, and go to the NFC Championship game, and go from there. But obviously, when it just got taken away from us, and Kyle's talking to us just about the year, and you reflect a little bit, it does feel good just in terms of being reminded of guys stepping up and the resiliency. The character and the heart of this team was unlike anything I've ever been a part of. And so I know a lot of guys were saying that. Kyle said it. Trent Williams, everyone feels it, the heart, man. And so for us, it does excite us in terms of, we're going to regroup and get guys healthy and get back after it. And so we are excited for the future, but obviously right now it just sucks because the loss is fresh in our mouth.
This offense is, when it's humming, it's rhythm and timing. And today, there was so much of you running around, kind of playground, type of stuff. Is that just a testament to their pressure and what they can do to kind of get you guys out of, what you do best?
He already said
that. Yeah. It's no secret in terms of, their style of play. It's, try to make the quarterback check it down and play deep to short. And then within that, have a good pass rush. And, that's a good defense, man. It's a smart way to play. And then bring some pressures and stuff also and try to make them mess up. So they did a good job with that. I do think there were still some ops for us to stay on the field and grit it out. Those are kind of the wins that we've done in the past too. But, tonight just wasn't our night with that. So, it's a tip the cap to them though.
They have a good defense. Obviously, you have a good offense, but the last few times you've faced them, you haven't scored that many points. Why do you feel like they have your number right now, your offense?
Probably just what I just said, just in terms of, you really do have to play smart football, check the ball down and stay on the field on third downs. They're a kind of defense that they're not going to give up the big shot plays or when you have one-on-one matchups, and you capitalize, you get all the yards off it. They're going to play soft zone and make you go through your read, check it down, and a gain of 6-7 yards and play that really the whole game. And so, they've done a good job with that. And I think, for all of us, including myself, we got to understand that when we're going against these guys and that's why it's crucial to capitalize on third downs and stay on the field.
You look pretty frustrated after the interception. I know you don't want to maybe even single out a teammate, but were you a little upset about just the way that happened?
Yeah, I mean, we're off schedule, and I'm at that point, I'm just trying to figure out which way Luke was going to go, and honestly, I shouldn't have thrown it. So that's not on him. He got put in a tough situation. If anything, throw the ball away, live to see another down. It's on me.
Did it seem like sometimes tonight and
Wrong. Well, at the end of it, he got it right. On him, right? He had Luke so much earlier on that play. I don't know what the fuck he was looking at or what he was waiting for. And at the time that he threw it, it was the wrong time to throw it. But he had him a whole second and a half before then, and no one was within 10 yards of Luke. You guys are going to see it. I'm sure people are going to break it down. They're going to show you guys the replay, and what you're going to see is Brock standing there looking in Luke's direction. They're going to show Luke in the middle of the field, and they're going to draw a big circle around him and say, there's nobody within 15 yards of Luke. Nobody was there for Luke Farrell. And then he waited until he was covered and then forced it in there. You don't want to single out a teammate because you made the wrong play on that one. That interception was on Purdy. He had him a lot earlier, and he didn't pull the trigger.
I'm at that point, I'm just trying to figure out which way Luke was going to go, and honestly, I shouldn't have thrown it. So that's not on him. He got put in a tough situation. If anything, throw the ball away, live to see another down. It's on me.
did it seem like sometimes tonight and in the whole season basically that you would go in games with or wind up with no receivers, either receivers gone or injured or compromised?
Sorry, what was your question?
Very few healthy receivers a lot of times.
Yeah, but I mean, I think, guys have done such a good job of stepping up, so I don't want to use that as an excuse at all. We got a really good receiver core, I think. DeMarcus Robinson's jumped up, Sky, Moore's, we got thrown him into the fire, and, JJ's a baller. Ricky's fighting his things, but when he's out there, he's doing great, so, I don't want to use that at all as an excuse.
You mentioned the future. Is this a team capable of winning a Super Bowl next season?
100%, yeah.
This obviously was a rough year for you with the toe, but after you came back in week 11, you had great numbers. Is it safe to say that the toe you're beyond that, or are you still experiencing pain with the toe after you came back?
Yeah, no, I'm in a good spot with that. For me to go out and play the way I need to play, obviously the way I can run around, scramble and things, I don't think about, obviously I'm doing my rehab and stuff with it still, and I will in the off season, but I feel really good with that, so I'm good.
Why are you so confident this team can win a Super Bowl next season, given how the season ended?
I mean, I really do believe that, we have the right guys, man. Obviously it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but I really do think that with some guys getting healthy and what we stand for and how we always bounce back, I feel like our backs were against the wall really all season with guys going down, but we always found a way. And so I think once we're, 100% and feel good about ourselves and learn, then we'll be just fine. So, yeah.
Sorry.
My issue with his answer, so the question was, why do you feel so confident that you guys can win a Super Bowl next year, given how you just looked out there? And he says, well, once we get 100%, there's no such thing as 100% healthy in the NFL. For any team, anywhere. As healthy as Seattle was tonight, they were missing players. And if the only way you think you can win a Super Bowl is by being 100% healthy, then you're never going to win a Super Bowl. That is not the right mentality to have. I liked how he started the answer. I think with this locker room, we got the right guys in there. That's all. You're saying all the right stuff at that point. But no, absolutely not. The way you ended that question, you butchered it. There's no way in hell that you have to be 100% and then you're going to be okay. No, not at all. You are not winning a Super Bowl if you expect to be 100%.
Your first drop back, DeMarcus Lawrence smashed you pretty good. Your last drop back, he got you again. How big of a handful is he? And, how can you kind of wreck a game plan? But
No, yeah, really good player, obviously. Same with 99 Williams. They got a good front. So across the board, they got guys that are gonna not make it easy. And if one guy doesn't win, then the other guy might. So it's a good defensive front. It's a good scheme that they have behind them as well. So just across the board, man, they got good playmakers and it's a good defense.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Christian should be right up.
All right, so they're going to bring Christian McCaffrey in a second here. Oh, shit. My bad. Sorry about that, guys. They're going to bring Christian McCaffrey in a second. But before we get to him, we got another super chat from the Cowboys fan, man. All right, come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to read it for you real quick. He says here, this is my last super chat. We'll see. Oh, wait, I got to play a sound effect. Damn, I don't even know which one to play anymore. How about this one? He says, I'm rooting for Miami to win on Monday. The culture wants to see Michael Irvin on that stage making a fool of himself. I hate Michael Irvin and taking that belt off and all that shit that he does. And I get it. That's his shtick. That's how he makes his money and all that stuff. And it gets him on TV. I hate it, man. I hate it. All this over talking and spitting all over the place. And we're going to go out there and put belt. He looks fucking crazy to me. He looks crazy out there, man. So it is what it is. But if that's what y'all want to see, I get it. As you, like you said, you're a Cowboys fan, so I understand why you appreciate it, right? But man, oh man, there's certain things that our great wide receivers do and have done that really, really piss me off. You talking about Michael Irvin, that's what pisses me off about him. He's not one of my greats. But Jerry Rice, I don't know if y'all remember when Jerry Rice had that stupid-ass chicken helmet on where it was rotating a piece of chicken for him to eat hands-free. Like, what kind of fuck shit is that you're doing out there? Like, every once in a while, the greats embarrass us. That's all I got. Now, if you're looking forward to it, you want to see that from him, God bless you. God bless you. But I don't know if Miami's going to be able to stop those boys, man. Just saying. I don't know. Those boys over there, it's going to be a hell of a game, though. I'll be tuned in for sure. Thank you for that super chat, though. All right, let's go ahead and get Christian McCaffrey up here to stage.
Tom said he obviously knows you're all hurt and everybody's hurt, but he was trying to make it there were positives because what was achieved this season, given everything else that happened. Can you get there? Can you start to feel that right now, or is it still just a loss?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's such a weird, emotional roller coaster you go through. You know, everything you've gone through with this team for what it feels like, 25 weeks in a row, and then to just end it. I think it takes time to process everything because it just comes to an end. What I will say is this is, in all my years playing, one of the proudest I've ever been to be a part of a team, and it's this team, and I love everybody in that locker room.
Kristen, given all the stuff you guys had to go through, the injuries and whatnot, I know it's probably the first time everything, but how do you process just the fact that you've got this far, with the amount of guys you're to replace stars?
Yeah, I think just you process it with time. Obviously it wasn't our day, man. We didn't play good enough to win, and obviously that stings and that hurts right now. But I think with time, you learn to appreciate everything that happened this season and all the people that made it happen. And again, I feel very fortunate to be a part of this football team.
Christian, you guys have been banging heads since July. How much time do you give yourself away from training before you get back into your off-season grind?
I don't know, man. Probably a couple weeks, and I haven't thought about that yet.
Where did the stinger occur?
Pretty, a couple early, and then just kind of kept getting worse, and to check out what it is. But gave it everything I had, and just wasn't working.
You were out on the second snap. I mean, did it happen that early? Like
No.
The first play?
No.
Kyle said that your season this year is one of the single most impressive individual performances he's seen, just in the workload that you took on. How much did this season mean for you to come back from what you did and be able to play a whole season and do what you were able to?
Yeah, I think I'll again, just once takes time to process this stuff. This was one of the hardest years of my life, and everything that happened to me last year, and kind of had to overcome a lot of odds. And from the time January 1st happened, I was rehabbing and working my butt off every single day. My wife went through it. There was not a lot of time off, and so again, I think it's obviously we're not proud of the way it ended, but when I look back at all the people that helped me out and the people that were with me every step of the way and believed in me when a lot of people didn't, I appreciate that, and just really grateful for my family, my friends, and everybody in that locker room. But again, it's just hard to process everything right now. Right now, just sucks to lose, but, you know, go hang out with those guys on the plane and process it how we will.
Christian, can you just share how challenging it was for you physically to be ready to play week to week? Because I know in the beginning of the season, a lot of us were wondering, are you going to be ready for game one? And here you are at the end of the season, stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, every year, every week presents different challenges, you know, some harder than others, but at the end of the day, man, we're all going through stuff. Everybody in there's fighting. Having 3 short weeks in the last 4 weeks has not been easy, but you know, we got a group of grinders who will go out there and fight whenever.
How proud are you of the young members of this team that weren't necessarily ready to start at the beginning of the season?
Really proud of them. Really proud of them and excited to watch them in the future because, you know, there's extreme upside to, you know, to get that experience as a young player, and this team is extremely valuable. So proud of every single one of them, and, you know, love them.
All right. Thanks, Christian.
Thanks, guys.
All right. I'm going to take Christian McCaffrey off of here. This is going to be the first comment I believe I've popped up on here that is not a super chat, but the 142011. He said, what the fuck is that? Didn't see that Jerry did that. Or what the fuck is didn't see. I know. I talked about the chicken hat, and you're saying you've never seen it before. And so, because you guys have never seen it, I'm going to show you. I suffered through it. I remember when this shit happened. And I was downright embarrassed. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I was fucking embarrassed. So now, y'all are going to be embarrassed too. Y'all got to see what I saw. Jerry Rice did a Popeyes commercial, a fried fucking chicken commercial. And in this commercial, his cross-eyed ass is sitting there with a football helmet on that rotates rotisserie style, the fucking chicken, so we can eat it hands. I can't believe you guys haven't seen it, but I'm glad you guys had never seen it before. Y'all are gonna see it now. Y'all are gonna see this shit now. It's terrible. It's fucking embarrassing. Like I said, every once in a while our greats go out there and do something stupid. This is it. Popeyes commercial. Wing ovations instead of innovation, maybe wing ovation. This is so fucking dumb. Suffer.
Now, we all know football is better with Popeyes, right, Annie?
That's right, Mike.
What if I told you there's an even better way to enjoy your favorite game time snack? They're called Wing Ovations. Wing Ovation. Products that help enhance your football watching, wing eating experience. Now, I don't know about you, Annie, but football legend and wing aficionado Jerry Rice and I like to eat classic Cajun wings and play catch at the same time. So we made the Taste Mask. 360 degrees of pure wing rotation for hands-free wing eating.
Excuse me, bitch?
Are y'all seeing this bullshit? Look at this shit, y'all.
The Cajun wings and play catch at the same time. So we made the Taste Mask.
Are you fucking
360 degrees of pure wing rotation for hands-free wing eating. Looking for easy access to dipping sauces? That's where the Sauce Dome comes in. The hat that puts all your favorite flavors inches away from your taste buds. And if you're tired of ruining shirts with dipping sauce, you need Popeye's greatest wing ovation, the napkin shirt.
Absorb it. Look at this.
Excuse me, bitch?
He let them put sauce on his face.
Sure.
How hard up was Jerry Rice at this point in his life? Look at this shit. Absorb it?
And we've got tons more.
We're all about sharing the fun when it comes to adding even more innovations to your favorite game times.
Fuck y'all for making me watch this again, too. I hate y'all. I hate y'all for making me watch that. I hate y'all for making me watch that shit again. You know what? I'm ending the show. I'm ending the show now. Because that's some embarrassing shit, bro. That is some embarrassing shit. Oh, my God. Nigel has a super chat here. I believe this is his second one. Defense allowing 41 points is inexcusable to this kind of offense. I really thought Kyle would have more answers on the offense. Disappointed, no touchdowns. Yeah, man. 8 quarters, no touchdowns against this defense, bro. Absolutely terrible. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable, Nigel. It's fucking embarrassing, man. And like they came out and ran the same exact shit that they did before, bro. Like they look exactly how they did in week 18. No improvements at all. Trent Williams didn't make a difference. Ricky Pearsall didn't make a difference. And don't tell me it was like that because we didn't have George Kittle. Like, stop it. Stop it, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Anyway, thank you for the super chat, though, man. I really, really do appreciate it. Looking at these fucking comments, man. I can't believe y'all hadn't seen that commercial before. I'm glad y'all hadn't seen it, though. I'm not going to lie to you, man. Again, Nigel, thank you for that super chat, man. I do appreciate it, man. Do y'all want, you know what? We came this far. Fuck it. We might as well finish. Let's get Trent. I believe Trent Williams is up next.
Mentioned that you were telling the team, or maybe a lot of people, just how proud you were of this team, the fight. Was that to the whole team? Or
Yeah. Well, everybody's in the locker room.
You could just maybe just speak about that. Like, was this season special to you?
Yeah. It was extremely special to me just because I've never been a part of a program, well, part of a team that so behind the 8 ball, but just found a way to compete every week. You know, we went up against so many rosters that was fully loaded while we were playing with guys that we got, you know, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Some guys signed at the beginning of the season, some guys signed in the middle of the season. So the fact that we were able to get to this part of the season, you know, divisional round and the playoffs, and you know, give ourselves a chance to get in the NFC Championship, and you know, we're extremely shorthanded. So I'm just proud of this team, man. Like Christian just said, we had a lot of young guys that contributed a lot to our success, and they have really, really bright futures. So I'm super proud of this team. Obviously, it didn't go the way we wanted to, but the future is really bright.
After getting this far. Say about what Kyle did this year?
Yeah, shoot, coach of the year in my opinion. You know, and not y'all see what he does on game days, but what he does during the week, the message he conveys to the team every week, the way we prepare, the way he has guys bought in to just give them their all, no matter, you know, what the scoreboard look like, no matter what, you know, guys just playing their butts off. So a lot of that goes towards Cal because he's obviously the leader of this team, but it all starts and stops with him, and he definitely does a great job getting us started.
Trent, you've seen a lot of defenses in your career. Do the Seahawks and the way their style, the way they play, what they do, remind you of other, I don't know, great defenses in the NFL?
No. I mean, we played some great defenses throughout the year. You know, so no, I don't think. I mean, what D'Amico doing down in Houston is pretty impressive. So, you know, hats off to Seattle. It's a good defense. They play 2-shell. They just make you have to just dink and dunk down the field. You know, they keep everything in front of them. It's a good game plan.
Trent, after all the things you guys did to this first year to get to this point you're referring to, what did it feel like tonight as it was kind of crashing down? It almost seemed like you couldn't hold the fort anymore collectively as a group. What was that? What did it feel like?
Man, I just feel like you're losing the game. I mean, we got to, you know, obviously we went down early. To me, I think that's the biggest thing. You get a kickoff return touchdown. You know, it's hard to win when you know, you give up turnovers and special team touchdowns, and we did both. So it's no surprise why the game ended how it ended. Not in my opinion. Obviously, we wanted more out of this. It just wasn't our night tonight. You got to be honest with yourself. And you know, we got, like I said before, we got a lot of kids on this team that contributed a lot this year, and we're going to be looking forward to them contributing, in the future. And I think a lot of them will be household names here pretty soon. So, I mean, I'm super excited for what we have in this group, the future that we have. And, obviously tonight sucks, but it's not the end for us.
Trent, on that same note, before the season, you said you weren't really sure what this team was going to be. You didn't know. What did this team become, and where do you think it can go?
It became a resilient bunch. I mean, we're the final four teams, on this side of the bracket. So I think that speaks for itself, being able to go in and knock off the, defending world champs at their home. Another tough game versus another great defense. And, we made the plays. And tonight we just didn't make the plays. So it's nothing to hang your head over. Obviously nobody thought we would even be here, let alone thought we would win this game. So,
Talk your shit, Trent.
At the end of the day, we playing with house's money when you get to this point. You're playing with who we played with.
You don't like Super Bowl
saying that the last 2 weeks
and all that, but does it feel more reachable where you stand right now than maybe you would have thought at the beginning of the season?
I've never thought it was out of reach, honestly. But yeah, once the injuries start happening, I'm gonna take that back. It does seem pretty. The hopes seem pretty grim, but as we continue to play, and then I started to learn this team, and we all started to learn each other, and you start to realize, like, hey, we have a real shot. Obviously, in my opinion, there was no team that was just clear-cut number one throughout the whole season. So I just think it was wide open, and I think a lot of people thought like me, and that's why a lot of people tried to fight, until they couldn't fight anymore.
What's it going to take to?
I like what he did there. He said that, did you think your Super Bowl hopes felt grim? He said no. And then he took it back and said, you know what, I take that back. After some of these injuries, yeah, I did think that. But then you learn about the young guys and the players on this roster, and then you say, okay, there is no clear-cut number one, and we could actually go out there and do something. I like that he took it back. He didn't try to make it sound like, oh, yeah, I knew all year we were this good and we can make it this far. I love that he took that back. You got to be real and have some accountability with the message that you're sending. Don't just go out there and be like, oh, every game I think we're going to win. You didn't. And I love that he took it back. Now, you're never going to go out there and say, oh, I thought we were going to lose. I thought the season was over. I understand that also. And he didn't quite go that far. But he walked it back. And I think that says a lot. Never going to send the wrong message. That was really, really well done by Trent right there.
When I talk to the young guys, a lot of them kind of mention they look up to you and just all you've done and how you carried yourself through the NFL all these years. Obviously, you said you're impressed by him, but what impresses you the most, especially with this rookie class, with what they've been able to do this season?
Just because they have huge roles, right? You look at guys like Stout. I mean, you look at guys like Siegel. You look at AC, Aaron Collins. You look at DJ. I mean, obviously, even Michael played. He was a starter before he went down. You get on the offensive side of the ball. We had Connor Colby in there playing early. He did a lot for us. So those guys with their expanded role, they did great. And obviously we won 13 games. So I think that's kind of tells it all right there. But they just give you a lot of hope, man. They came in, they bought into the culture, and they, the way they play, the way they approach every day, just, we're lucky to have a rookie class that can contribute like they did.
What's it going to take to break through against this Seahawks defense? You got to face them twice every year, and it seems like they have your number right now.
I mean, ain't gonna take shit. I mean, we ain't got, we down to all the best tight end in the world, right? It's a lot of things that we're up against, not just Seattle. So, I mean, yeah, we split the game. They won one. I mean, during the season, we came down here with a healthy team and we won. I think that's what we can be. Obviously, when you're playing with guys, you signing out practice squads, guys is, you taking off the street. I mean, you got to temper your expectations a little bit, So.
You'll be 38 next year. I know that's not news to you. But I believe you've already stated, maybe after the Colts game, there's no question about your future here coming back. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Thank you.
All right. That is it for the press conferences. I want to thank you all for rocking with me throughout the duration of this episode. I want to thank you all for rocking with me at halftime, the pregame show. I want to shout out to all my Patreonians. Y'all were A+, man. I really and sincerely appreciate you guys. And while the season for the 49ers may stop on the field, it does not stop here. And I thank y'all for rocking with me all season long. Through the ups and the downs, all the ebbs and the flows, y'all were absolutely fantastic. All right? And this is what I want to leave you guys with. Enjoy this pain. It sounds crazy. But enjoy this pain. Somebody told me that pain is a sign of the body trying to make itself better. Right? You don't know that you need to improve until you can clearly see your weaknesses. The Seahawks exposed a lot of that today. A lot of it. I don't think that George Kittle would have made a difference in this game. Maybe we get an extra field goal out of it. Maybe. Right? I don't know that Nick Bosa would have made a difference in this game. They barely passed the ball. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe Fred Warner. Maybe. But maybe not. And I think that this game really shined a light on our defensive issues. I think that this game really shined a light on some of our offensive issues even. And the lack of depth at certain positions. But what this game didn't do is define this season. This was a season that showed grit, fortitude, determination, heart. It took all of that to get to where we are. And I know Kyle Shanahan is not perfect. I know that. Robert Saleh is not perfect. John Lynch, not perfect. We're going to put all those guys under a microscope, and we're going to break them all down throughout this entire offseason. Right? And this is what's going to separate Nothing But Niners from other channels. Right? Now we get to kick into our bag. Now we get to step up in a way that some other channels who only react to games and preview games, that's not really us. We're going to dig a little bit deeper. Draft prospects, coaching prospects, and all that. And as the coaching staff start to be formed all around the NFL, are there some other guys out there that the Niners could maybe target to improve? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. We will see. But I hope you guys are strapped in for the long haul. And I'm not just saying that because of that flag over my shoulder, this emblem on my visor here. There's a lot that we can do to improve. There's some gems here that I don't think you guys even realize that we have. We're going to shine light on all of those things. The flaws, the positives, and everything in between. And we're going to work to try to get better. As a program, I'm talking about Nothing But Niners. We're going to work to improve on the content that we bring to you guys. I'm looking forward to my March Madness series. A lot of new subscribers this year. A lot of new subscribers this year. A lot of new Patreon people this year. My Patreonians, y'all are fantastic. All right? But there's more. And this season will not be defined by one game. It can't be. It can't be. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. We laughed together. We cried together. It was a lot. It was a lot. We lay the 2025-2026 season to rest, and we walk away with our heads high. To the Seattle Seahawks fans in the chat, you guys got it. You guys got it. I don't want you guys to win a Super Bowl in our house, but damn, you guys got the best defense in the NFC right now. So good luck to you guys. Good luck to you guys. All right? That's what I got on this game. On the season, it's not over yet. Football games are, but the season's not over yet. When we start to reflect, when you stand in front of the mirror, you see what you need to clean up. That's what we're just getting started at. So strap in, guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Like, subscribe, tell somebody else about it. For those of you who are opposing fans of teams that we have played this year, Shout out to the Cowboys fan that was in here with all the super chats. Shout out to the Seahawks fan that showed up. You guys can subscribe too. Even if you only come in twice a year when we play you guys, that's cool too. Come on in, come back. Laugh in our faces when you win. Come let us laugh at you when we win, though. Come let us laugh at you also. Reciprocate that energy and let the chat give it back to you. All right? That's going to do it for tonight, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for rocking with us. Like I said, just stay tuned. All right? Faithful out there, y'all know how we wrap these things up. Prepare for glory, anticipate pain, but always remain faithful. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure.